Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for yet another match of the Champions Cup. Now, it's been a little while since we did cover the Champions Cup on the channel, but we are here now at the round of 16. This is an exciting contest. Exeter Chiefs, they will be taking on Munster for this one. My lighting's gone really weird at the moment. Hopefully, if we move that to there, it slightly fixes it a little bit or makes it worse. But that's all right just for now. But nonetheless, we are only about 5 minutes away from the kickoff of this fixture, so hopefully it is going to be a very good one. And nonetheless, do let me know your score predictions in the chat below. We will look through at the starting lineups and reserves for these two sides. And Exeter, they come in as heavy favourites for this game, but the big question is whether or not they can find that form that they are after to be able to take down the juggernauts of the URC Munster, who have been in some very good form as of late, although they have had a couple losses. And then the thing is, though, a couple close losses for Munster. I think their worst one was up against Leinster not too long ago. But other than that, they've had close games, and also they're the GOATs. And there, of course, for the Munster from Katie Dixon. And I hope you are doing well. I hope you're excited for this game, as it is just around the corner from getting underway. And I did see that you did mention about Ulster being able to hold on and get themselves a big win in the URC, or not the URC, sorry, the Champions Cup, which is huge for them, as that is also going to be ticking themselves towards the next stage, which would include the Stuart, or not the Stuart, sorry, they've just shown Stuart Hogg, which confused my brain, but they will be making their way towards the quarterfinals perhaps. So this is the lineup that the Exeter Chiefs have gone with for this matchup. It is going to be Hepburn, Yandel, and Harry Williams. They're in the front row. Then it is Johnny Gray and Sam Skinner making up the two blocks for this game. I'm going to move my microphone slightly. There we go. And it is also going to be Ewers, Simmons, and Vermeulen as the three loose forwards. That's not going to behave itself. It's kind of moving by itself. Maunder and Joe Simmons there. Then it is Witten and Samuel Slade, or sorry, Henry Slade, I should say. They're in the midfield. Woodburn, O'Flaherty, and then out on the one, out at fullback, I should say. It is going to be Reece Hodge. Then this is the Munster lineup. Now, we have heard a couple late changes in that back line. Unfortunately, that is due to Simon Zebo being out. So instead, it is going to be Daly, who does slot in at number 11 for this game. And that is replacing Simon Zebo. So a late change for them to have to make just before the kickoff. And also, we've got at the end of the game was insane. I was screaming at the TV because I did see that Toulouse also snuck a try right at the last moment, didn't they? I see that Cardiff. Wow. That's an interesting result. So pretty much Cardiff were 14-0 up against the Scarlets. Scarlets finished that game 49 points to 14. That's a comeback and a half. Very impressive indeed by the Scarlets for that one. But currently, like I mentioned, this is going to be the first leg. O'Donoghue leading out the Munster boys with Damien Dialende in there, Keith Earls, Connor Murray. They've got some very good players in their side. So hopefully they are going to be able to put it together here for the Exeter Chiefs, as it is all down to this home leg. They need to make sure that they go, well, what the heck, Cardiff White. See, I thought when they got 14-0, I was like, okay, they're sorted. They're going to win it easy. But then I guess they just took their foot off the gas and left the field and just let Scarlets play rugby while they weren't there. How does it go so wrong in a hurry for that one? But what we will quickly do is we will move this over to our main screen so we can see that. And also we've got I went past the stadium earlier on the way to Cornwall. And there it says Harry. So hopefully, I mean, that's the thing. It looks like it's a pretty decent atmosphere at the ground currently for this game. And hopefully the match does deliver. We've seen some pretty interesting games, some close games, some not so close games today from our rugby gauntlet that we have actually done. We've done Super Rugby, we've done the Sevens, we've done the URC, and now we are here for the final match. It's going to be a nice chilled out live stream at the end of a night, but 4:30 a.m. here in New Zealand. We started doing our live streams at 2:20 a.m. Or sorry, not 2:20 a.m., 2:20 p.m. New Zealand time. So we are about 13 hours deep at this stage, but now Jack Donoghue is going to be such an important asset for them in this game. But we are going to go like this, and we are going to go like this. There we go. We have got it in the middle. And also, where's the vote? Says Harry. That is a good question. I did actually set this one up just a little bit before, so it doesn't actually have the option of voting for it, but I can add that in if that is something you are keen to see for that one as well. One moment. We go like this, and we will go like this, maybe. Hopefully it is going to do it for us here. We've got a minute's silence at the moment, so it does give me just a little bit of time to be able to get it all up and organised. We have us going to, you're here, Hamish, the Kiwi Lads. Thank you for all you did to us or do for us, I should say. Yeah, from Katie Dixon, no worries at all. I do love doing these rugby live streams. No matter what hour of the night it is still a very exciting one. Who's going to win the match? Uh-oh, Capital's in the wrong place. You know what? We're not going for any draws in this one. As much as the chance of a draw does exist, we're going to ignore the chance of a draw for this game. And I bet you it is a draw the one time that we don't have it as an option. But we don't care. We're getting a result in this one, whether we like it or not. Exeter Chiefs or Munster. There we go. It is in the poll, but do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who you think will be able to win this game. Damien Dialende, very important when it comes to that crash ball style that Munster like to play. They've got some big forwards who can really use that brute force that they do create. But Henry Slade there, Stuart Hogg in the back line for the Exeter Chiefs. They are also going to be such an important key for their side respectively. But now we are about to get underway. I believe it is going to be Munster will be kicking off this game. Stuart Hogg, they are actually wearing the blue here for the Exeter Chiefs. The countdown is on. Right, the match underway. The final game of the Champions Cup for these, or kind of this day, I should say. But we have also got the game taking place at the same time, Racing 92, and they are going to be taking on the opposition in Bordeaux. Not Bordeaux, actually. They have got Racing 92, so that's going to be a good game alongside it. But at the moment, Exeter Chiefs, they've got this one just out from their own line. And they will be trying to make sure that they get as far down the field as physically possible. As soon as you give Munster a chance with a 3, they can take it with their eyes closed. Rolling this ball back now, it is going to be Sam Maunder just waiting for the opportunity to put it up. And he does just that, almost charged down by one of the Munster men running onto that one beautifully. It is going to be Haley. Now, one more pass. This is looking good at the moment for Munster. And the last thing they want to do is really sit back and allow Exeter to play their game of rugby, and also Chips Coffee and Rugby. So there's Sebastian there, great low tackle. I believe that would have been Yandel making the tackle there, and it is still just available. There's about 3 rucks forming, and it's going to be stolen by Johnny Gray on the ground for the Exeter Chiefs. Currently committing about 6 men to each of the breakdowns, so really trying to make sure that Munster don't have any chance of that turnover early on. Now out the wing, Stuart Hogg. He has got the man. He actually wanted to go on the inside rather than the outside. Henry Slade right in the shadow. He kicks it into touch. And now there's going to be the line out here for the Munster boys. It will be Niall Skinner who has to throw this one in. But do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, first try scorer of the match, who are we going with for this game? I'm going to say it will be Tom O'Flaherty as my prediction, or I'm going to say Shane Daly, a man who was injected late into the side for Munster. They lost Simon Zebo, but I feel he will have a decent chance of still being able to have that same impact that possibly Zebo was able to. I'm not too sure why he was out. And also, I'm so careful with the mug now. I don't want to repeat. I'll want to repeat of the morning incident. And there's Sebastian. See, that's the thing. That was, how long ago was that, Sebastian? About 12 hours or something. It feels like it was like quite a wee way, as in like a day or two ago. But we've just been up for so long for that one. But I do appreciate you guys pretty much. You spent your whole day with us, Sebastian, I believe, pretty much. So it is usually appreciated. Same with you, Katie. All throughout this one. I think Paddy might have crashed. That is completely understandable, though, because it is late night here in New Zealand. I'll join you for my cuppa or with my cuppa. And then now a little bit of a counter right there from the Exeter Chiefs. It looks like Munster are going to lose this ball. And now it's going to be stolen by the Chiefs. It's now back across using their big forwards in this one. It was actually Vermeulen, and I'm looking out for Sam Simmons in this one. Now Stuart Hogg, though, trying to step on the inside. It's going to be Jack O'Donoghue, who does have to wrestle him down, and currently it is good face play for the Exeter Chiefs. The sun is really only blinding half of the ground at the moment. It's a penalty to Munster, and it was for not releasing literally from when I woke up to the end of this game. And there's also Sebastian, and also, yeah, we're doing this rugby gauntlet. Is this our longest rugby gauntlet or not quite? The funny thing is that we have to question whether or not a 15-hour rugby gauntlet is our longest one that we've done. I think it is, or it's at least close to it anyway. We've done like maybe 6 games back-to-back before, but that's probably around 12 hours or so. Our rugby day is a happy day, don't worry a single second. And there's Sebastian and Caffeine, work your magic. And that was from Katie with the little magical sparkle thingamabob. See, I have no idea what I'm going to do at the end of this live stream. Like, I'm trying to work out whether or not there is any chance I can stay up till the 7s, but I don't think there is. So it's probably going to be the case of get everything prepped for the 7s, schedule the live streams at like 6 or actually it will be about 7:30. Then go to sleep, wake up about 6 or 7 hours later, do the sevens. I want to do Harlequins Montpellier and also possibly Leicester Tigers versus Clermont if I am still wide awake, although I do see Damien Pinot actually out for that Clermont game due to an injury. But we're going to do that one. Then we're going to wake up, or we're going to go to sleep first of all, and then you can wake up. And then I believe George is coming around for a filming day on Monday, which I may or may not have a voice for. And now driving forward nicely for Munster. Connor Murray quickly recycled ball here. Healy linking up with Haley. So there's Haley and there's Healy. Just to not confuse you guys too much. Ones that fly off, ones that fall back too bad. We can't count, or we can't all meet up and go have breakfast somewhere and talk about rugby and cricket things. That would be so fun. We could do it virtually, perhaps. Just do it like, you know, what do I hear? Is that my PC having a little bit of an angry, like, moan at me? I think it might be ringing a little bit, but we could do one of those ones how you have like a virtual breakfast, how you'll make your own meal and then you come to the group and be like, I made this. I think Yandel was pretty happy with that one for him. And also, hopefully the voice will hold its own. I really suggest that you make good use of the lemons that you have in your back garden. Are they good for your throat? And yeah, said Sebastian. Yeah, I had one of those little lemon and lime capsule things a bit earlier on, and yeah, we could do it virtually, couldn't we? Yes, says Katie Dixon. Certainly could. I feel like that's the thing. The internet is such a weird thing, but also such a wonderful thing at the same time. That coach doesn't have his headset on. He decided he doesn't need them to be able to hear what's going on. Yandel now be thrown in this one. Oh, he's not in the middle. The referee is saying, oi, get to where you're supposed to be. Okay, having a bit of an argument here with the touch judge. Well, it looks like there for Yandel and also Kiwi Lads Pub. Oh my God, I'm getting hard, isn't it? Sebastian. And also we have got there, me too. Oh, okay. We've also got the honey and the lemon. Good run forward from O'Flaherty. Now Stuart Hogg, he pins the ears back and he scores the first try of the match. And Stuart Hogg, he will be loving that one. He jumps on top of O'Flaherty and says, yes, boy, we've got that one now. Nicely done. And O'Flaherty helps out with that try being scored. And now the Exeter Chiefs, they've got themselves a 5-0 lead at the start of this one. And also the Stuart Hogg try. And as I said, Katie Dixon, wait, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because I know you're a Munster gal, but you don't mind yourself a little bit of Stuart every once in a while. So is that like a good or a bad And now, come on, Munster, says Katie Dixon. O'Flaherty finds the ball straight under the hands of Stuart Hogg. And as soon as he started accelerating, you could see that it was going to be tough for Keith Earls to try and catch him. It was O'Flaherty who went straight through, ended up luring the defence. There was no one back there. Stuart Hogg, he looked like a man possessed the way he was running with that one. Ouch. I won't lie, I'm back in Munster here, says Sebastian. I feel like the thing is, I've said so much about Munster that I almost have to back them from here with the fact that I was like, it's crazy that they're $3.60 underdogs. So I feel like I also need to get behind them. And also Stuart Hogg pulled a dingbat move recently, so he's on the dingbat list. What was this dingbat move? I guess it was in this, was it in the Six Nations? No, it might have been. Maybe. Now striking it, it's going away to the left-hand side, and that is going to be now 5-0 for the Exeter Chiefs after a total of 7 minutes. I believe that would have been Joe Simmons who ended up missing that kick. O'Flaherty out to Stuart Hogg, and it's just such a beauty when the fact that they do get into that full stride, quick motion, and O'Flaherty and Hogg looked like they were in fast motion. So Hoggy was fired up, the Scottish psychopath, I guess you could call him. I think that's Drew McIntyre's nickname. And then Ian Finn Russell and Ali Price break protocol to go have a drink before Six Nations and almost blew it for Scotland. Oh, yeah, no, they enjoyed a little bit of a beverage after the Italian game. I think it was that they ended up getting on the beers and getting a bit on the smashing, or the smashing of the hammeredness. They got pissed. The best way of putting it, isn't it? Chris Farrell. He's going to be there at number 13 for this one. Also, Damien Dialende in the middle. So a very nice midfield combo. Yeah, and they're Scottish. It's required for their survival. And as I said, Sebastian, there you go. They got to do the stuff. taken nicely. Now Connor Murray, attack and run. He decides to go himself, but he is tackled now by Yandel, who's been very busy throughout the early stages. Now it will be Niall Scannell, Yandel's opposite number. Oh, no, that's dropped. And that went straight through the hands of, I want to say that was Alex Kendall, and yes, it was. I'm ended up putting that one down. Not what you want at the start of a matchup. Definitely not when you are now 5-0 down. Okay, that's an Irish accent. I always try and listen to the commentators and work out where is this commentator from. Sometimes you get a Scottish, sometimes it's Welsh, sometimes it's Irish. This time it is Irish. The threat that they have. That turned really American at the very end of that. Currently now, 9.5 minutes through Exeter. They are going to have themselves another scrum feed, and it will be Sam Maunder will be lining up this one. And also, we have got there, if they rowed themselves out to the middle of a lake and had drinks, I think it would be different. I get it, the rules are restrictive, but is it really worth it to push those boundaries there? Yeah, like you just know that you shouldn't. Like, just do it after the Six Nations. Like, yes, like you beat Italy, like, which I guess is actually, now that you think about it, one more than Wales, unfortunately. But at the time, it's like you bet the bottom of the table side. So just like look forward to your next game rather than like celebrating it as if you've won the World Cup. You know, just a bit of professionalism, just a little bit. Currently now, 3 men in a row, tic-tac-toe. Haley, Healy, and a man in between. Looks like they're playing a little bit of American football here. And also, God, as a Scotsman, would I risk my life for a drink? So it's going to be yes, 90% of the time. Or 95% of the time. That's a good push there from the Exeter Chiefs. But now they've got the 3 men wrapping around the outside, and it's working quite nicely. Chris Farrell with a good step on the inside. Still available here in the back line for the Munster men. Healy, nice attack and run. Oh, it's forward. And also Stuart Hoffman, Russell and Ali Price get in a rowboat. And this is Katie Dixon. It starts like the start of one of those like ones about the people walking into a bar, doesn't it? A few good jokes out there overall. That's the thing. Anytime someone's like, tell us a joke, I'm like I can't come up with jokes on the spot. Like I hardly try and come up with jokes anyway. It's just sometimes they come out like at a random time. And that's what makes them a joke. You know? The Healy at the moment, they are saying that maybe that one could have been actually backwards, but he was a bit unfortunate. It did have a bit of that drift you do normally see for them. But currently half the stadium is dark, half the stadium is light. And the man in the cold section, which is the shade, he will probably be getting quite chilly. The men on the top side, though, they won't be minding it. It's a penalty to Exeter. Tell you what, they are fired up. Maunder's just going around spanking people because he loves it. And also, indeed, there has to be context. And there's says Sebastian for the one. Yeah, it's like, I can't whip out like the best knock-knock joke that I know because like it doesn't sound good. Like it's just a knock-knock joke. People don't really, I mean, I could come up with a couple, but they just wouldn't be anywhere near comedian standard, you know? Now Sam Simmons will be kicking this one to the touchline. Geez, he looks like his brother a little bit, doesn't he? And then they accidentally drop the oars and they're stranded in the middle of like, and no one knows where they are. There's also says Katie Dixon. Yeah, unfortunate situation, of course, which is why you always take a flare. If the in-betweeners has taught me anything, it's that take a flare on a boat and punch a fish if you need to, I guess, but you probably don't need to really, because I wouldn't think that you'd need a fish if you were just a few meters out from the shore. Now, Connor Murray does it across to Healy, another flat run by it was John Hornet. Now back across, Healy goes to Chris Farrell on the outside now. Nice work here from Haley. Stepping on the inside, it was actually that number 11 who I did mention I did want to see score a try, which was Shane Daly. Had to look at the name for a second there because it was initially Simon Zebo. And the starting lineup counter up from Exeter, and they get themselves another penalty. I don't know. Wait, David Ewers, is he related to Charlie Ewers? Charlie Ewers? Is that his name? Charlie Ewers? Not too sure. Are they the same guy or different guy? But I wonder where Connor is. Now, hopefully he's in the stand for this game, although saying that he is normally an Irishman, isn't he? So he's probably in Ireland at the moment, in some pub, having a few beverages, hoping that the Munster men can get themselves over the line. It's a nice little counter-ruck there from the Exeter Chiefs, and it's just causing Munster some problems. Currently, they don't seem to quite get it right, and also we've got that Jennifer has said Munster 42, Exeter 23. Oh, I would love to see a game that high scoring. And also kind of is biting his nails at the moment, and usually we hear from him. And there's his cadets, and he might come in the second half possibly when he's kind of got the feel for the game. I just realized I didn't put pants on in between the live streams, and by that I should mean I've still got shorts on. It's just I didn't put long-legged pants on because it's currently only 10 degrees here in New Zealand, and my thighs will get cold. Now, so 30 metres out from the line, Connor Murray will have the scrum feed here, and Jennifer has spoken. And then with a 10 out of 10, I mean, if Munster can do a win of that calibre, it would be absolutely huge because, of course, this is going to be the 2 points or the 2 games in which there's no pants. This is Katie Dixon for that one. Yeah. I always need to be careful how I word that, don't I? But yeah, got me booty shorts on. No, not quite. They're a little bit longer. Now currently on the 22 here, Damien Delinde goes on the outside to Chris Farrell. Sorry. Oh, it's juggled. Once again, there's just mistake after mistake at the moment for Munster, just trying to get a few of the pre-match or kind of early match nerves out of the way, I would think. Sam Skinner forced backwards there. As Daggle now, Stuart Hogg back into the hands of O'Flaherty. He's got quick feet. And he just seems to be able to step around quite a majority of the players. They're going right back for the initial knock-on advantage, I believe it will be. Quite a long one. But they are going back across for the initial knock-on, but they did end up going backwards pretty much the whole way for the Exeter Chiefs, so that is why they decided to go back. I just realized one of my eyelids got really heavy all of a sudden, which is not good, because if one of them is heavy, then it will just look like I'm winking at everyone, just occasionally giving you a quick wee wink, which is not my intention, of course, but I think my eyes at the moment are answering the question of it's probably going to be sleep from 7:30 to the start of the sevens would be a decent plan. Currently now, will be Maunda once again about to feed this ball into the scrum. So Exeter, they've been doing pretty decent here currently. The fact that they do seem to have a little bit more of the possession in the early stages and have had less handling errors, which is something that will be so important in the later stages. But this is the 2-match one, and Mama Vampire just called. I always answer when Mama Vampire is calling, says Sebastian. That is true. Always got to answer the phone. And then normally if Mama Vampire, or not Mama Vampire, but just Mama, I guess, is calling me, it's normally from just there, isn't it? So it's nice and easy. It was interesting. I thought she was going to join us for the Fiji and Rua stream because she sometimes just stands just off the green screen and just watches. So then I don't know whether or not to like invite her in or whether she's just like kind of spectating. And then I do end up asking if she wants to, and then she just says that she's about to go to bed. But I think she just comes and checks in on me, sees what I'm up to. Now Exeter currently, Sam Simmons once again taking a big contact there. Maunda, the ball is still available at the back. Now they didn't actually have any Peter O'Mahony for this game, and also a couple other players. Joey Carberry missing. I'm not actually sure about the reasoning behind that, whether or not that has something to do with injury or something else along those lines. Munster win the penalty there. I think the crowd thought that Exeter won the penalty, and then the referee actually switched his arm so that it was Munster who won the penalty, and the crowd went from cheering to booing pretty quickly. Well, that one was the pop pass up into the hands of Alec Hepburn and also Fang Mama. And there's Katie. Fang Mama, I feel like, is one of the most intimidating names that you can have for a mother, isn't it? Fang Mama, well, probably not the most intimidating, but I would not go near someone if they had the nickname Fang Mama, because that's a hard nickname to get. 18 minutes in, Exeter, they still have themselves a 5-0 lead, and now just shown there. Jeremy Lauerman looks very similar from a distance to Vincent Koch. I've noticed, I actually saw that clip on your channel the other day, Katie, of the Vincent Koch scenario, which was interesting wording, wasn't it? And they are showing Hodnett As he sits there looking straight into the sun. He can't see a lot at the moment, but he's trying his best. Oh, he's realised he's supposed to be joining it, and Fang Papa did. And there as well, Sebastian. For that one. Fang Papa and Fang Mama, eh? What a combo. What would you be? Fang Son? Fang's. It sounds like they're just thanking you for something. Thanks, son. Thanks, son. Rest your fangies, lads and lassies. Or lasses, sorry. And they're all nice big hit there on. It was Healy, who was a little bit slow to get up from that one now. Going to be the big man, number 8. Breaking his way forward. Jack O'Donoghue. We haven't really seen too much of him prior to a couple phases in a row. He's just really waiting patiently for his opportunity to inject himself into the attack. Same with Damien Dialende, another penalty there to the Exeter Chiefs. And that was for Munster flopping straight over the top. And do get themselves in a little bit of trouble now. I did mention that Munster with $3.60 going into this match. I'm quite curious. Okay, now they're $6.35, so that's actually a lot higher than they were before. Currently, penalties conceded 4 against Munster. Now, the big thing here is currently you would say that those odds are probably pretty accurate, but it's whether or not Munster can find their way back into this contest, and they have just been able to get their ball in the field of play now, kicking it downfield. It's a big boot as well, taken not so cleanly by Maunder. Now fires it across the Stuart Hogg. It will be going for a kick himself. Does kick it way downfield, down to 40 metres out from the Munster line. Keith Earls takes it, trying to step on the inside. Good low tackle on him, though. And also, but when you are a vampire, but you also love the rugby. And as I says, Katie Dixon, that's the thing. Could vampires wear a mouth guard? Or would it just go straight through? Like, yeah, they have to get specially made ones so that the fangs could stay down. Also, what we do in the shit owls. So, says Katie Dixon, I mean, it sounds like Peacock just show you everything that goes on in the sheds, good or bad. That was a little mistake from John Hodnett. They just haven't quite found their momentum yet in this game, Munster, but you'd have to argue that as soon as they do find their handling errors kind of minimalising a little bit more, because they're currently 4 handling errors to none, which has been costing them quite dearly in the early stages. Stat France say they are playing Racing 92 at the moment. In fact, what I'm going to do here, while I remember, is I am going to open up my Sky Sport Go, and I'm going to have the score of that game in my other screen. Hopefully it behaves itself. Right. What one am I on? Okay, this one. We'll go like this, like this. We'll grab that, minimize that. Sorry, this is a very quiet patch, isn't it? There we go. So currently it is 3-0 to Racing 92. Racing 92, sorry, idea. Well, Smith to try. Now, an extra mouth guard or a mouth guard, that's assuming they can actually hit us. That is true. I feel like that's 1,000 IQ play, isn't it? You just dodge them. Zoom. Such a sad sound effect, wasn't Will Smith? Just needs to get a divorce and move on with his life, says Katie Dixon there. Currently now the ball is going to be available. They have got the advantage here for the Exeter Chiefs, and their back line's looking strong. White cut out pass out to O'Flaherty. Got the space. Keith Earls misses the tackle. O'Flaherty still going up to 40 metres out. Finds the offload to Maunder. Brilliant attack and run from it was the big man for Mullen. Now Maunder going across. I'm looking at that man, Stuart Hogg. As the inside ball, now they've given it to him. And now 25 metres out. Geez, he came in from a long way back, whoever that was. I think that might have been yours. Now back line. Going to be O'Flaherty. Draw and pass out to Vermeulen, who has to cut on the inside. There's actually 2 bald men, which is Ollie Woodburn, and also it is O'Flaherty. I think they've both decided to go with the same haircut, which is none. Well, that's not even better. Move on from society. Oh, big hit there. That would have hurt the ribcage. Yeah, for Ollie Woodburn. Now Samuel Slade. That's a lie. It's Sam Simmons. There's a lot of Sams around. And it's not even Samuel Slade. He is actually, who's Samuel Slade? Sounds familiar, but I don't think that is who I was meaning, because I was, Samuel Slade Samoa, Moana Pacifica player, number 5 for the lock. And that is going to be the penalty against Munster here. I have consumed a lot of water today. Just a fun fact there. And also, who would have thought or thunk, oh, fancy, that Will Smith would ever commit self-owning career crimes? As well as Katie Dixon. I got so confused there. They had the scoreboard as 100-0, but then I realized that's their own lineouts lost. They've lost 100% of the Exeter Chiefs. And also, yeah, he needs to find himself again, going close to the line here, reaching out, touching you, touching me, sweet Caroline. Nah, it's over. It's a knock-on. I think I got the order of Sweet Caroline round the wrong way. I feel like I should be very embarrassed with that. Neil Diamond would not be a happy man with me. Yandel here, he's complaining about something. Again, he feels he got it down here. He was short. 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 He lost the ball. So I don't know what he was arguing with because that ball wasn't down. Brilliantly done from Connor Murray to stop that try for the Exeter Chiefs, getting right under the ball. The moment Racing 92 have actually got themselves a 6-0 lead currently now. The 2 penalties. Now, this is the thing. Top 4 to, wow, that guy just got clotheslined and possibly decapitated. No, he's all right. I think it was Finn Russell. He's saying, it wasn't me, ref. It was just my arm. It's a good excuse. Currently, it is going to be the penalty. Okay, Finn Russell, he was the one who got cleaned up. So he kicked it. Then from there, you can't just drop the shoulder into Finn Russell and expect not to get penalised for it. But somehow Yandel was unable to put that ball over line and also, yes, it's touching me, touching you. No worries, as long as you don't sing it in a nursery. You only do that once, don't you? Then after that, you're not allowed in the nursery anymore. I can't imagine George in a nursery just thinking about it. Like him pretty much like saying hi to some young children. We mentioned about that story of at the takeaway place, how there was this kid in a diaper who was probably like 1, and he was standing in the doorway because, of course, me and George, we forgot that children don't know the whole system of going through doors of like, you know, you hold the door and then you exit. So if George, or if I was the first one going through, George said that he would have actually accidentally just let go of the door and it would have smacked this kid in the face because it was like one on springs. But he just stood in the middle of the door of the child, well, in his diaper. And then George just looked down at him and went, move, move. And then the kid, he still didn't really understand that. So then his mum said that he had to go through the door. And he dropped the ball and then says, okay, let's arm wrestle instead. And yes, says Katie Dixon. It's a bit of a fun task, isn't it? I can't arm wrestle to save myself. I don't think my arm can even bend that way, to be honest. Is it supposed to? Because, like, if I had this flat, I don't know whether or not you guys, that's as far as I go. Like, not even, like, how do you twist it so that it doesn't break? I feel like I just break my arm trying to arm wrestle. Apparently now still going to be available here for the Exeter Chiefs. It looked like there were a couple of men maybe running bottles of water on the field, but it might have actually been the Munster men and the shadow getting close. He's an action with the kids, isn't he? Sebastian, yeah. He has a way with words. But currently now that is going to be unable to get out of that rolling maul, and Munster survive once again, only a couple metres out from the line. We're saying Damien Dialende, also Chris Farrell, right on that one. Try and stop it from making its way through. 26 minutes into this game, still only 5-0 for the Exeter Chiefs. And you'd have to argue with the way that Munster have had to defend only a few metres out from their line. It could have been a lot more in this fixture, but currently they are $6.90 underdogs. And also, can you imagine George doing community service? Not really. Overall, I feel like, or any job that involves like customer service, he would be like, I don't know how it would go. I'm even picturing it. I can't imagine it. I feel like farming is the job for him, not just because he loves farming, but also because I think it just suits him nicely. He just gets to chill out, listen to some tunes in the tractor, and just go from there type thing. I remember when we went into Harvey Norman, which is actually, it's an electronics store, but there was this girl who was serving people, and I remember I bought batteries so that George could continue to talk to her about SodaStream. So I was talking to the kind of older lady at the counter about batteries. Didn't need to know the information about the batteries, just a whole heap of random questions about them so that he had more time to chat to the girl. And then I actually ended up buying batteries, but I didn't need batteries, but I just ended up buying them anyway because I felt bad for talking for so long. And yeah, that was the story. And the service part would be very much absent. And there, as I said, Sebastian. Currently now scrum reset, only 5 minutes out from the line. I still have that pack of batteries. I think we used like 2 of them. Something along those lines. That was the day that we got that spider. Did I show you guys the spider? Probably not, did I? Maybe not. I was going to ask him to pick up the trash on the side of the road. He just ends up popping out of the bushes and scaring drivers off the road. Yeah, find some way of making it more fun for himself. I feel like he would put more rubbish down than he picks up, possibly. Like he'd just see it as a challenge. Now, Conor Murray only a couple metres out from the line. It's a lot of pressure here. They're trying to get themselves possibly a penalty. Damien Delende now, but a crash ball. Going to be breaking a couple tackles here, using his strength, try and build himself up a little bit more. It was Ian Whitten in the end. I also remember your first kill on stream. And as I said, Sebastian, my first kill on stream. My first kill on stream. Is this GTA that we are talking? I feel like I don't remember, but I probably should, shouldn't I? Don't know. My brain's gone blank. Sorry, it's 5 a.m. And my brain literally just stumped me big time. Bye. Whoever that is, he's leaving. It is Kindillan going off, and then it's O'Sullivan. It was a spider during a cricket. Oh, yes, of course. The one on the wall. I think the tissue box. Oh, no, I got rid of that tissue box, but just acted like it was nothing, just a smack on the wall, and down she goes. Did rain the next day. I think that was already forecast, though. Oh, now a little pop pass out in the hands of the Exeter Chiefs in the midfield, and they continue to build themselves up phase after phase. That is big Ewers. Currently seems like, oh, that was close to forward. That's what that seemed like. Round the side. Oh, it's an advantage. No, it's not. O'Donoghue's been able to turn it over here. Munster now have the ball back. They are continuing to try and keep in this game. It's not going to be easy. Quick rush defense on Healy. Little chipper behind here from the number 11. Waits for it to sit up, and it does just that. Now still going to be available for Daly. Off the back, it's nicely done here for Munster. Building phase is probably the most that they've almost had throughout this one. It also reminds me of that Scottish TikTok where the boys were in their house with a spider on the ball and they kill it with a Jaffa cake. And there's also Gary Dixon. Can't say I've seen that one. I saw a TikTok. This thing, I don't have TikTok, but I get sent TikToks. And I saw one of a chicken chasing a dog. And I was like, that's quite fun overall, but I still haven't downloaded the app. I haven't succumbed to the pressure of it. George has. He watches a lot of tractors, and just tractors, of course, and nothing but tractors on TikTok. Did I mention he likes watching just the tractors on that app? Whole heap of tractors. And now, once again, trying to break his way through. It is going to be Neil Scannell. Still available here for the Munster men. Apologies for the language. Did someone say something bad? One moment. I've got to go back and listen to this. Okay, so a little nice a swear word in there. I just watched the compilations on YouTube. They are pure serotonin. And there was us, there's Gary Dixon. Munster, like they're saying, they're struggling to get into this contest, sadly, for them. It just doesn't quite look like it's working out. Racing 92, they are actually leading 12-0 up against that Francais. So a very good lead starting to build for those boys. Kicked into touch by the Exeter Chiefs. Really, 31 minutes through. We've just had the one try. The Champions Cup, that's the thing. Normally, the first round is that feeling out process. You work out what your opposition's all about. And then the second game is normally when we see that ruthlessness side, because you know exactly how many points you need to be able to go through. Whoever's leading this first leg will then have a chance of being able to really, I guess, just play a little bit more defensively in the second game. But also, if you do need a few extra points, then as the losing team for the first game, you know you got to go. And that second one, I just leave nothing to the kind of, I guess you could say nothing to the scoreboard. Just keep on scoring the points. Now at the back line, Simmons gives it off. Now to Hepburn. Got a low centre of gravity, Hepburn. Penalty. Well, that one. Who's Hepburn? I said Hepburn. They said Hepburn. Where's Hepburn? Hepburn? Hep. There's no, Alec Hepburn. There he is. That's why he's got a good centre of gravity. He is a prop. Ewers with a good carry forward once again. The Exeter Chiefs kicking this one for the corner. That ball's lost. Someone's going to have to go find that one. Currently, Ewers, he's looking dangerous throughout the early stages of this match. Penalties conceded 7 against the Munster men, so that is certainly not going to be an easy one to come back from. Definitely not with a 5 metre or, in fact, 10 metre line out here in favour of the Exeter Chiefs. They start to build and they start to creep forward just a little bit more. Yandel's got it at the back. Munster trying to stop this one from going forward. It's not going to be easy, though. In fact, it's going to be extremely difficult because Exeter now only sit the 5 metres out from the line. Still going. Still waiting for it. It looks like maybe Munster have been able to go through the middle and sack that one. It's still going to be bouncing out the back line, though. Now Sam Simmons. In fact, it's going to be Joe Simmons, his brother. Tries to get onto that one. Munster almost able to turn that ball over. Keith Earls times it right round the side of the breakdown. That is going to be, is that Harry Williams? Yes, it is. I wonder if Nani Lamapo is playing for. Steph France has a little knock on. And now Munster have been able to get this ball back. I can't see Toulouse winning in Belfast by 7 or more. I think they're out of the competition, ladies and gentlemen. It's a chance. Although that's the thing, they've kind of lost their real, wow, that's forward. That's forward. That's very forward. And no one's seen it. Now they're going back for the initial forward pass for the quick throw, I should say there as well. But the big thing for this one is Toulouse this year just haven't quite looked like the same Toulouse of the past. Like, I feel like losing Chisel and Colby, just, I don't know, losing a couple other players, defending champs as well, poor campaign. Yeah, they just haven't really, like, I'm going to look at them in the top 14 for a second. Once I can find the top 14. There it is. Top 14. I don't think they're in the top 3, are they? No, they're actually 5th at the moment, sitting on 57 points. And they could easily drop outside of that top 6 if they're not careful. And they played the 22 games, so they've actually only got a few more rounds left. In fact, they've only got 4 more rounds, left. And then after that, like, I think they're going to struggle a little bit and very much forward. And then Montpellier sitting in first. Oh, dear. In there, says Sebastian. Although Montpellier, I guess, Challenge Cup defending champs, aren't they? And also, you got yourself the defending champs of the Gallagher Premiership, the big boys, Joe Marler, Marcus Smith, Alex Dombrand, all them boys going to be ready to go. Oh, Sebastian, sorry. I just remember what me and Katie were talking about just a little bit before you did end up arriving. Did you see Cardiff? You know how Cardiff were winning 14-0? Did you know they somehow blew that well and truly and ended up losing that game 14 points to 47? How does one do that? Like, that was not ideal. There's a lot of Munster flags there at the moment in Exeter. For their sides. They have some very nice travelling fans, that is for sure. Currently now Connor Murray just waiting to put the ball in. Now he has done such. Now waiting for it. Connor Murray fielding it to the first receiver, and Damien Dialende, he's dropped the ball. It's gone backwards though. Now running it hard at the line, and it is going to be John Hondit. And also, there is Reece Keir still playing for Cardiff. I think so. So that was very high, wasn't it? But I think he is about. At that stage, I'll see what I can find on Austin Garlett's Fever, mate. I'm happy for the guys from that channel. And yeah, says Sebastian. But like, that's the thing. It was just such a weird result because they had such a good lead and then it just disappeared. Reece Kerr, he is playing. He was playing in that game where they did lose. It was actually 14 points to 49. Who'd they have? Liam Williams, Jonathan Davies. See, that's the thing. The Scarlets have got a good lineup when you look at it. Like, and they just scored brutally. They just went bang, 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 bang. Halftime, it was 14 points to 7 in that game. Then it was Liam Williams in the 45th, Davis in the 58th, 72nd, 74th, 75th. Boom, boom, boom. Just like that. Apparently now, the referee is practicing his, I think he was practicing his sprints. Stage run at the back, everyone just closes the gap. That one in, right to the back, taken nicely by Ewis. I wish we could get those games on Peacock. And as I see Scotty Dixon, yeah, because the URC is quite a tricky one to find, isn't it? If I'm not wrong. And now driving forward, it's going to be Yandel. Tackled by Jack O'Donoghue, the captain of Munster. That's going to be the advantage in the penalty right. Exeter would be strategic to take the 3 here. And Scarlets are my favourite out of the Welsh teams. They have very passionate yet humble fan base and very nice people. And they're all... I thought, was that a yellow card? Did I just see a yellow card given out? I think there was. Yes, it was. But that man's got a bleeding ear, so he might as well go to the bin for a little bit of time. And I'll say, yeah, we get 0 URC, so that sucks. Like, we don't even get that game between Scarlets and Cardiff, but we get South African games. For some reason, that's our, I guess, bread and butter that they show us. I see Ulster Munster taking place in a couple of weeks' time. That should be a juicy contest, hopefully. There's so many good games coming up. And the playoffs, they are taking place in June. Hopefully, we will be able to cover a majority of those on the channel. And as I said, Katie Dixon for the yellow card, just getting a little bit of a chat. I think they were just asking, is your ear okay, seeing as it is currently bleeding? And he's like, yeah, didn't even feel it. Currently going for the rolling maul here. Exeter 15 metres out from the line, and they are committing plenty of extra men to this rolling maul. See if they can get it over the line. It's well defended, though, by Munster. Now Pearce in the gap. It's going to be O'Flaherty. He tries to spin out of that tackle. I think he got kneed in his head by his own teammate. Now going back across. Ewers, in fact, no, it's going to be the number 7. Almost over for Jacques Vermeulen. Only a couple of extra metres. Ewers getting close, but no cigar there for him. Now Yandel. Nope, he's not over. Still waiting for it. This time Vermeulen goes over. And it is going to be big Vermeulen. Jacques Vermeulen does end up scoring that try. I mean, Finn Russell's got a big smile on his face, but currently in that game, 12 points to Racing 92, and then Paris sitting there at 3. And tries to the Chiefs, says Katie Dixon, the Champions Cup is a massive prize, or such a massive prize. I'm always nervous with the Quins game, how lovely it would be, says Sebastian. It would be very nice. I think at the start of the competition, I picked Ulster to win it. I don't know why, but I just went with them, and hopefully they do all right. Hopefully they at least make it to like a decent stage. But I did actually take a screenshot earlier on when I was like, hey guys, I'm just quickly going to take a picture or something. So pretty much if the Harlequins make it past Montpellier, they will be versing the winner of La Rochelle or Bordeaux. And the 2-leg, and at the moment, La Rochelle, you'd have to argue, after beating Bordeaux at home 31 points to 13, more than likely, if the Harlequins beat Montpellier, they will have a game up against La Rochelle. So they can bounce back in the second half, plus this game in Limerick. Geez, that's bright. It's going away to the side. That is going to be the misconversion there for, it was Joe Simmons. Currently now 30 seconds left of this first half between the two sides, but pretty much the winner of Racing 92 and Stade Francais playing at the moment, they will face the winner of Sale versus Bristol. In the end, actually a very low scoring game. 10 points to Bristol, 9 to Sale Sharks. And then the winner of Exeter versus Munster. This game here, After they do have the 2 legs, they will face the winner of Toulouse and Ulster. So we could see Ulster versus Munster as a semi-final matchup, or in fact, a quarter-final matchup. That would be pretty big. And then also Clermont-Leicester and also Connacht-Leicester, or Leinster, sorry. So you could see Leicester versus Leinster as a game taking place in this quarter-final, which is going to be a tricky one to say that match, but that is going to be half-time now. 10-0 for the Exeter Chiefs. Still time left, though, for Munster to be able to bounce back in this one. I just realized that when I close out, okay, now it hasn't got it. I had the Ram Ranch lyrics on my phone from when I showed George. And I don't know why they were the ones that were up, because I haven't had that tab open in a very long time. And it just decided that that was the tab that it wanted to tell me about, which isn't a good tab to have overall. And also, who do we face if we qualify, says Sebastian? So you guys, the Mighty Quins, will be taking on La Rochelle or Bordeaux. And then from there, you will be taking on whoever is the best out of Stade Francais, Racing 92, Sale Sharks, or Bristol Bears. Harlequins Bristol could be an interesting one. Water. But yeah, you will have Bordeaux or La Rochelle as your one. So you could end up, theoretically, you make it through to the final, let's say for the Quins, you will either be facing one of the following: Toulouse, Ulster, Exeter, Munster, Clermont, Leicester, Connacht, or Leinster. One of those guys. Who do you fancy in that one? Who do you think will give you the best run for your money? And Munster, go have some Pringles and a juice box, and we'll be out here waiting for a miraculous comeback. That brings up a sad story, because I actually, when my dad the other day, he was like, what would you like from the shop? And I was like, can I please have some Pringles? They didn't have any. That's literally the whole story. They just didn't have any Pringles, sadly. I was like, wait, did they change the logo? No more Native American headdress. Good on you, Exeter. And then, yeah, it's actually quite quick, because I know that normally, like, if I was to get this game up on probably Google, it's still got the old logo, but this one's actually got the new one. And a French team here. Bonjour, croissant, and merci everywhere. There we go. That's how to offend the whole French audience. Luckily, I don't think we got too many people from France watching this one. I think we got a couple maybe supporting Munster, though. In fact, more than a couple, because you guys are both supporting Munster, aren't you? That was a wonderful sight to see. There's Katie Dixon there as well. Currently, we've got highlights on Taranaki versus North Harbour. The Bunnings NPC actually coming up relatively soon here in New Zealand, but they are just showing the round of 16, all of the games that we have had so far. It is Connacht versus Leinster. That was the win to Leinster, 26 points to 21. Bristol had a close game with Sale Sharks, 10 points to 9. La Rochelle up against Bordeaux, 31 points to 13. Toulouse and Ulster only a 6 points difference, with 26 to 20 in favour of the away side Ulster. Then Exeter currently leading 10-0, and Racing 92, they are currently sitting 12 points up to 6 over their opposition in the Stade Francais. And also, yeah, I'm just wondering, because for me, the only side who's really cemented themselves as, unless something extremely drastic happens, they should win and go through, and that is La Rochelle, because they have got themselves such a strong lead currently of 18 points, and also just terrible first half from Munster, says Gunnacoin, and we were wondering when we would get to see it. Unfortunately, not quite the circumstances we were hoping. We were hoping that we would get to see it. I think we've got everyone going for Munster in the live stream. Gunnacoin in here. Only Munster to win this game, they're paying $15. That's a big old underdog right there. And also Native American symbols are disappearing in professional sports, just complying with the reality. And there's us, says Sebastian. Currently, I'm actually going to have a look quickly and see when the dates are for next week of the Champions Cup, in terms of who plays when. And also there's there's brother kind of coined in. And also, sorry, kind of no worries. Still plenty of time though. Plus the Fortman game. I think a lot of these sides, they will be looking at that next game as the game changer, I guess you'd say, or the competition changer. Okay, right. So the Champions Cup fixtures next week, ladies and gentlemen. The game that we have got, it's going to be Leinster and Connacht on Saturday night. That works. Oh, Montpellier versus Harlequins is once again going to be an early game. And then we have got a game on Monday, Racing 92 versus Stade Francais. And also Exeter Munster will actually have the rematch Sunday at 2 a.m. alongside La Rochelle Bordeaux, taking place at the exact same time. I feel like with the amount of games, since they have got only 8 games, they could possibly overlap them so that they don't overlap, or have them so that they don't overlap. And weaker team, it doesn't like the fact that the team simply doesn't have leaders and doesn't have smartness at the breakdown. And there's kind of going in, and also I believe that they can come back from this and they're going to smack each other around in the sheds and then come back and get it done. And there says Katie Dixon. There we go. So hopefully that is the case. I mean, that's the thing. I don't think I've seen one person on the live stream say go Exeter Chiefs as of yet. So I think it's a majority of Munster supporters that they won't get. They have no proper leaders. As well. So what's happened to Peter O'Mahony kind of going in? Is he injured or is he just rested for this game? Because he'd be a useful one to have. Also, no Joey Carberry there as the first receiver, which is a little bit of a rough one for them as well. But Karkoinen, Ireland, decent in the sevens, beating Fiji. He's injured. Do you know how long he's out for? Because that man seems to just like mechanically rebuild himself. And so I might step up, hopefully, in there. And also, where's Tyke Byrne? Oh, he's another big name, isn't he? They are missing. They've actually got quite a few players out, Munster, when you look at it closer. Of kind of those players. Simon Zebo, late exclusion from the game. He would have been one of the keys for them. And also a guy off the bench, I think, got changed. And he's passed his best. And there's Karkoinen for that one as well. But currently now, they are showing the highlights of Taranaki taking on North Harbour. And also Byrne is unique. Jared as well. And there's Karkoinen. And so we have a big number of players out in there. Yeah, which always makes it difficult. Do you know if any of them will be back for next week, or are they all going to be out possibly for that game as well? But yeah, they are actually just showing the HSBC Sevens highlights. And that was actually the last time that we saw South Africa in the final. And then today, we did see the streak come to an end. It was 37-0. And injured in there, says Karkoinen. Well, that one, but now, the South Africans actually ending their winning streak. They got up to 36, I believe it was, 36 wins. And then after that, so they have got the second longest in history, but yeah, they are going to be missing it for a little bit longer, unfortunately, for themselves. Wait, what was I saying? I think I just combined about 3 sentences at once, but pretty much, yeah, they've lost their streak, so they're going to have to work hard to try and get one back, but it's just as big, if not bigger. It will take quite some time. And a lot of people thought it was going to be a game between maybe New Zealand and Fiji, something along those lines in the middle of the competition. But it was actually the USA who were able to get the job done. And they actually took them real deep in one of the finals a while ago, the USA. So it is great to see that they were the team that were able to get the winners. They have been taking part in the sevens for a lot longer in the last little kind of 6 months or so than New Zealand and also than the Fijians. So it was nice to see that a team that were already on the circuit were the ones who were able to defeat them. But currently, second half is just around the corner. Looking through at the benches for both of these sides. I'm going to have a close look. Right. Okay. Jack O'Sullivan, I think, was already out on the field. Rory Scannell, not a bad option. Craig Casey as well might actually not be too bad in the later stages of this game once they do decide to get rid of Connor Murray, but that will probably be a lot later in this one. And then looking through, Maunder actually is starting this match, I believe. Wait a minute. Sam Maunder and Jack Maunder both play halfback. I think they're brothers. That's a way to confuse myself, isn't it? And then Josh Hodge actually slotting in there at number 15. Or sorry, number 23, Eagle Sevens are contenders for the goal without doubt. Says Sebastian. And I hope that they do it. That was a weird way of saying do it, but I hope that they do at least make it to the final because, like, to beat a side that have won so many games in a row, I feel like you almost do deserve it type thing. Like, it's going to be Ireland versus USA That game's a tricky one to predict, though, because Ireland, it depends on what Irish side you get. And the USA, it depends on how fresh they are for the early stages of the day. Some teams take a little bit more time to warm up in the morning. But you don't really get that warm-up game. You're straight into it. And Casey should go on and take Murray off. We need quicker ball to avoid the Exeter counter-ruck. And there's this kind of yeah, we saw it many times throughout that first half, how they just throw about 3 or 4 forwards and for the Exeter Chiefs. And they just couldn't really work out how to counter it for Munster. It seemed like the handling errors were a lot more than we'd normally see from Munster, and also the penalties against them. I think they just had a little bit of a struggle really working out Exeter in the early stages. And go the Freedom Birds. And there's us, there's Katie Dixon. Currently, I'm sure we're not too far away from the second half getting underway. We are currently almost 5:30 a.m. here in New Zealand. I believe my bedtime will be about 6. No, it won't be 6:30. It will be about probably 7:30 to 8 by the time I finish all the little jobs that I have got coming up. And then from there, we will be waking up tomorrow doing the Sevens quarterfinals. And then from there on out, we'll also be doing a few more of the matches taking place for those ones as well. One moment. I'm just going to have a quick look and see where is it. Because that's the thing, the Sevens actually goes next week as well, doesn't it? By the way, USA versus Ireland, not a matchup that Katie would like, I imagine. And as I said, Sebastian, that is true. 2 of her favourite sides. She's going to have to pick a favourite, and that's going to be very tricky to do. Okay, so 7:29 is actually the time that we see the next matchup that we would be covering on the channel, possibly. And that it's quarterfinal 1 loser versus quarterfinal 2 loser for that one. And then quarterfinal 3, quarterfinal 4 losers are respectively in there. And then alongside that, I think we're doing the 5th place, 6th place, etc. for those ones. We're kind of just picking and choosing depending on how much vocalist ability that I do have. And yeah, I'd be Sophie's choicing that one. This is Katie Dixon. What one is the heart telling you? Are you saying the Irish or are you saying the USA? I should mention, whoever ends up winning that one, I'm just going to quickly tell you who they will be facing in the next round for their matchup. So for the Irish, one moment. Right, where is quarterfinal 1? Okay, quarterfinal 1, quarterfinal 2, quarterfinal 3, quarterfinal 4. Okay, so quarterfinal 4 will be taking on quarterfinal 3, which means that Ireland or the USA will be facing New Zealand or Samoa. Okay, interesting. And then the winner of Australia, Argentina will take on Fiji or South Africa. My heart says Ireland. Pretty sure I was born in the wrong country. There's us, there's Katie Dixon. Imagine USA versus New Zealand. I feel like that one would also be a tough one, or Ireland versus New Zealand. Either way, it's going to be a tricky one to try and decide. You want to go to, oh, that's a big call. Yeah, as I said, Sebastian, and also we've got the, forgot about Ireland. Actually, massive win against powerhouses in the Fiji Sevens. Yeah, brilliant performance from them. And the thing is, it wasn't even that close. Like, I think a lot of people expected it to be like Fiji run away with it, or maybe it's close, but then Fiji get it in the end. Like 9 points difference, you'd have to say, in sevens is a reasonable margin. Definitely up against the top contender in Fiji and Ireland in a game that they had really never really been able to beat Fiji too often, if any. And plenty of Ireland versus New Zealand coming up in the Union. And there's Sebastian. That is very true. So we don't need that one again, do we? Or I guess maybe it does. Maybe that's what we do need, just to try and decide. I haven't actually translated any of the comments that I got on the Samoa one yet. I'm worried, but I think one of them's quite nice. Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to tell because people are sometimes nice and people are sometimes not nice on comments. Like, I remember the first time we did the sevens, we had so many Fijians trying to rip us a new one. Like, they were just brutal to us. And I couldn't understand. I was like, mate, we can't show the game. It's just copyright, isn't it? And they just didn't understand it. But that was probably back when I was a bit more of a naive chap. I thought everyone might be nice. Turns out not everyone is nice, though. Some are all right overall. And I was over there. Are we raging at Andy Farrell if he does not bring Rob Balakoon to New Zealand? He was sensational for Ulster. Yeah, nice hat trick for himself in that recent game. So yeah, surely, I mean, if you don't bring him, why would you it would be such a bad decision to not have a man in such good form. Definitely with it only being a couple months away. I started getting, there's a new spam thing going around I've learnt on the live streams. Oh, okay. I think they're actually making their way back out onto the field. Yes, they are. But yeah, there's this new thing at the moment that is to do with like Mozart or something. They keep on trying to spam Mozart like things. I don't understand it, but I just kind of buy into it a little bit. And I was just trolling one of them because you just get a random one that pretty much gives Mozart a rating out of 10 for some reason. And that's kind of the new spam. I don't know how it is spam or why they do it, but it's just a weird thing. Carolita, if anyone does see a random message and I think it's Spanish and it just says I hyper random things, don't worry about it. It's just a random one. And also Belica deserves to be in the starting 15 or in at least one of the 3 games, says Sebastian. And also we have got there. Is that the reason? Or is there a reason he wouldn't? Because you're right, that would be a bony move on Farrell's part. He isn't wearing blue, Katie, in there. Oh, so you think it's going to be down to not being a Leinster man? I mean, picking because you like the team can only get you so far. Look at the British and Irish Lions tour with Warren Gatland and Wales. That was a knock-on from Munster. Not a good start. And Balakoon on the right, James Lowe on the left. I mean, wow. And there, and Olori. And then also, worst comes to worst, just chucking Andrew Conway or someone like that on the bench. And just have him come later in the game if you do need him. So it's down to not wearing blue. And there as well. Well, it's down to not wearing blue. I mean, it sucks that they do it like that. Because, like, Ulster are kicking ass at the moment in the Gallagher Premiership. Like, and surely you look at that. You look at the fact that they bet to lose away from home. You look at the impact that that man had in the game, and you got to go, hang on, this guy could be onto something here if we give him a chance. Now, the Exeter Chiefs, once again, going to be using this back line that's looking not too flashy for them. It's going to be Woodburn stepping back on the inside. Danger, little pop pass. It's taken well by Munster just in the touchline. Tell you what, this is dangerous. Maunder takes that quickly. Nope, they weren't on the mark. So they do have to go back. Just touched by another player. It's a comment from the referee, so you are not able to take the quick throw in that situation. But currently, I mean, the thing is, just thinking through at Irish players who you don't want to face, Balakoon is quite close up that list, though, I think, to the top. Because, yes, we've got some quick players, but you're not going to enjoy having to try and continuously chase them down. And even if you just send them out there and say, right, you've got the first 50 minutes, run like your life depends on it. You run everywhere on that pitch. And then after that, we're taking you off. So give it 150% and see how it goes. And I guarantee you that that will cause some sort of impact and really affect the All Blacks. And also, we have got there, let's the folk have been chatting garbage, that they are statistically the best club side in the world. I have to remind them that they haven't played the Crusaders or in South Africa. And also, they've gotten worse and worse. You cannot talk to them anymore, says Kanakona. Do they have their games in Leinster coming up anytime soon? Or, sorry, not in Leinster, in South Africa? Because they must have... Okay. They're saying there was actually no touch of the ball, which does mean that they could have gone for the quick throw there. Okay, there was no foot and touch. So because of it, it is a scrum feed there. And also a race between Balakoon and Will Jordan. It's like watching a hound race in there, yeah. And then you got like Sever Reese or someone trying to cover defend running across from the other wing. It would just literally be one that gets the whole stadium on their feet. And then, yeah, it'd be quite cool to see Leinster folk as in the players or Leinster folk as in the fans, because it gives what the fans say. And also we've got to have 2 games in South Africa to come, so it's going to go in, and also we've got the yellow. Johan, welcome into the live stream. I hope you are doing well. Hope you have been enjoying the URC. Did the side that you wanted to win, or did the side that you wanted to win? I think that was a sentence, wasn't it? Did they win for the URC? Do let me know. So when do Leinster go to South Africa? Okay, it's actually coming up in 20 days' time is their first one in South Africa, and then their second game in South Africa. Oh, no, actually, they've got one in 13 days' time, so they will be heading over there very soon. So the Champions Cup next round must be relatively late, is it? And I was like, the Leinster fans. And there's right, they are going to be checking on this one. The Women's Six Nations currently, it is England 46, Wales 5, so a close game there between the 2 ladies' sides. And we don't pay attention to what they say. They aren't controlling anything about this. And there says Katie Dixon. So the quarterfinals, they take place in 26 days. So Leinster are actually going to have to go over to South Africa, come back a week later and play their quarterfinals match if they do make it, which is going to be a relatively tricky one for them, but we'll test out that depth. Of course, I really want to see the best of the Northern clubs versus the best of the South, at least once every year. For example, Leinster versus Crusaders. And as well says Johan and Osberg the Hello, and they do it on purpose to make you angry, and you're letting them make you angry. And Carberry, Omani, Byrne, Kilcoyne out injured, Zebo pulled out, threw it out through gastrointestinal injury. Second leg next Saturday at 3. Says Richard, that's a nice fend, and they are certainly going to have to fight hard for that one. So I knew that Zebo was a late kind of exclusion, but I didn't realize it was gastro for him, because that can be a very painful thing. Definitely if you try and do any sort of exercise with it, that can literally cause you some very bad damage. So it's probably good that he did find out, or he did pull out when he did, rather than actually risking it for the match type thing. And also we've got the hey, and hi Hamish, and all you guys here, good night. And there says MHO, welcome into yourself, mate. And hope you are doing very well currently. Exeter kicking it for the corner, and also I know, but I can't help it. And there says, can I clean in for that one? So there, the Hearts. And there says Katie as well. I'm going to have to drink some more water. They almost splashed in my face. Another hey, says, Johan to Katie. Now taken nicely by Ewers. And the Exeter Chiefs, how much push have they got left? At the moment, the Munster side, they are down to 14 men around the side, almost just breaking away a little bit here. And those are massive absences for Munster. Maybe the Champions Cup is out of reach, I'm afraid. And then that one has gone down here. It's wheeled around big time. Now Maunda waiting for it at the back. It's going to be the advantage here, the Exeter Chiefs. The Munster side just haven't been able to get out of their own 22 here, effectively anyway. Now firing across, little kick of mine from, it was Simmons. That's a massive in goal area that they have got for themselves. And also big love Mitch Joy and also RDA. Now Stuart Hoggy gets that ball back. They're going back for the initial penalty. Kicks it across to the man. And also after they lost at Leinster, that was the season for me, Sebastian. It says, can I coin in? Currently now, it's going to be taken as the quick tap, only a couple metres out. Yeah, and it'll come on Munster. And there says Katie Dixon, Ewers dragged down Munster. They need something. They need a miracle here. Only a couple metres out for the line. That's their miracle, and it is in the form of Jack O'Donoghue. He's been able to take it back, but then straight on the ball for Exeter. Is it the penalty? Not quite. Okay, the ball's still going to be available. Conor Murray couldn't quite believe that he wasn't getting a penalty for that one. Now kicking it up high, trying to go for the cross kick. That one's going into touch, and it's not the hugest kick downfield. And that is only going to be on the 22 now, back to 15 men, and there's still time until the UFC playoffs, and you never know. Says Sebastian and Oscar, come on, Munster. Says Katie, yeah, I guess that's the big thing. As long as you're in the top 8, it just means you get to beat the teams on their own turf, which makes it just that little bit more impressive as well. Currently, Exeter sitting there on 10 points, Munster to 0. And you'd have to argue that Exeter at this stage, they just don't seem to have quite been able to get over the try line as often as they possibly should have. Those aren't just me. I want to see a new champion more than anything, just to mix it up a tad. And there's our now driving forward, nicely rolling here for the Exeter Chiefs. Breaking off the back, Yandel goes down 5 metres out from the line. Ball is still available The Exeter Chiefs get over here. You'd have to argue that it is close to the end of the game. Connor Murray wins the penalty there for his side. And Munster are still fighting as if this was the final moment of a final. They've still got another 32 minutes to go, though. Connor Murray getting over that ball. And they're just working so hard to try and get back into this contest. And this has definitely been a weekend of weird rugby. It has been very strange a majority of the time. From Argentina in the sevens, that was the first thing that really confused me, was Argentina and New Zealand. They were down by 2, and they went for a drop kick from way out that was never going to have a chance of going over, and then they lost the game. And now New Zealand actually getting through to the top 8, but same with Argentina. Maybe it was strategic so that they meet them in the final. Who knows? Be exciting there, but 48 minutes in at the moment. That guy on the right looks familiar. Kanakoinen, if you're watching this game, you'll know exactly who that is. I believe it's their head coach. I can't think of his name. Oh, they've just said his name and I was talking over the top. Okay. They didn't say his name there. Oh, no. I think I also ended up listening and then not listening at the wrong time. Currently, I think Jacques Vermeulen is staying down. It looks like he's got some sort of neck injury, so they do have to make sure that he is all right. Oh. So there is Andy Farrell in the crowd. Whoa, the youngest boy does look like Owen, just with a different haircut. He's got the same kind of sad face. And I don't know, I hope he's okay. And as I says, Kenny Dixon there. Currently, like they're saying, Ireland, they have got 3 test matches. Oh, a couple friendly warm-ups against the New Zealand Maori side. That's going to be awesome. I didn't realize that those were taking place, but now that I do, I'm very excited because we will get to see a couple extra matches being played. And the New Zealand Maori side, they are going to be dangerous in those matches. Now, currently looks like there's going to be another change being made here. That is now going to be Josh Wickerley making his way out there, and also the same kind of sad face. Here it is in the words 10 out of 10. And there, as says Katie Dixon. But Ryan, he's coming out on the field. There was, in fact, John Ryan rather than Wickerley, who is still not on the field. It's a rough pass from Munster, but they still managed to hang on to this one. If they get a try now, the thing is they're not out of this game. But they just need to find a try. Connor Murray doing the kicking behind. That's a nothing kick. It is an absolutely nothing kick, unfortunately. And now it's a counter-attack from the Exeter Chiefs. When you finally get the position, you can't afford to just kick it straight back to them and say, right, we've done with it. You can have another go. My cut-out pass and the hands of Woodburn. Good way through Chris Farrell there. I'm getting the hiccups and it's really annoying me. I think I've sucked in way too much air today. Now down the wing, it's going to be big Sam Simmons. Good tackle on him. Although it was a little bit too high, they have said, and it's going to be going back for the penalty. Right, if I was Exeter, I'd almost take the 3 here just because they've gone for the corner so many times and it hasn't worked out. And at the end of the day, you might as well get some points on the board. Just a little bit too high. Tackle there from Keith Earls. Currently, anyone wondering about the game between Racing 92 and Paris or Stade de Francais, it is going to be currently 12 points to 6. They've kicked it for the corner as a Welshman. This is a hard pick for me. And there's Ozzy's Fleschen. And it's a weird contest. Did you see, Fletcher, I think I've mentioned this to everyone who's come into the live stream almost, but did you see the game between Cardiff and Scarlet, the score in that one? Out of curiosity. Stolen by Munster in the line out. 5 meters out from their line. If they can get themselves out of their own 22, they could be right back in this game. But until then, they do just have to keep on defending. Picking it in behind there for Connor Murray. He does find touch. Not a huge amount of distance. Also, good evening, Fleschen. Well, looks like they're not too far away from making another sub, and I believe that is Big Patrick Schnickerling. Namibian. There you go. And Harry Williams, he will be the man who is replaced from in this one. He's a big boy, old Schnickling. Now, currently just a little bit of a team meeting here for the Exeter Chiefs. They've got some good players in their lineup, and also, yes, I'm a Scarlet in there. Oh, you would have loved that then. You would have very much so enjoyed that. Not the first half, but then second half just went berserk, didn't it? And it just didn't look like they were going to be able to ever stop them. Currently now going to be available at the back for the Exeter Chiefs. Munster trying to turn it over, unable to do so. Rush defence there from Munster. Quick from the big forwards off the bench. Now Maunder goes back. Now it's going to be Hepburn. Good tackle on him, wrestling him backwards down to the 22 now. Outside the other level was a little bit rushed up there from, I think it was actually the big number 1 of the Munster side. A few of these names I'm actually forgetting, which is not good. Damien de Linde, he's done nicely there, though. Oh, no, it was, in fact, Rory Scannell. Oh, Connor Murray's going to kick this one. I don't like the fact that he keeps on kicking the ball away, because they kick the ball away, Exeter get it, and then Exeter get another attack. Stewart, or in fact, it was going to be O'Flaherty. Now it's a counter-attack, and he's almost going straight through. Yes, they're down to the halfway line at least here, but they need to stop them from being able to just counter and get right back down to where they once were. They've got the backline opportunity to do so. Stuart Hogg drawing pass here out to Hepburn. Finds the offload to Hogg. Once again, a welcome, brother. And also we have got there Nosworth that did it to you. And Damien de Linde playing, he is indeed. He is at number 12 for this game for Munster, although we haven't really seen too much of him. That's going to be the penalty to Munster there, in fact. Apparently, Stuart Hogg is hanging on to the ball for a little bit longer than he should have. The crowd is showing him a little bit of something. But that one, I don't think they were too happy with the fact that he didn't want to give up that ball. But the thing is, the Exeter Chiefs currently, if they do not win this game, you'd have to say that it's a blown opportunity, which is why currently for Munster, there's really nothing to lose in this game. Penalties conceded only 4 against the Exeter Chiefs compared to the 12 that Munster have conceded in this game. Kick downfield, and now they are going to have themselves another attacking line out from inside of the 22. One of their first of this half, and also only about their third of the match. They do need to make sure that this one is right. It's going to be all of the pressure in the world on Rory Scannell. So if this one is not straight, it just takes that wind out of the sail once again for the Munster men. Having a bit of a chat there. The number 1 he has said to Rory Scannell, just throw this one straight in, mate. Honestly, that game typifies. Oh, it's stolen by the Exeter Chiefs once again. I think Munster can still get the win if they keep the ball. And there it says it was 17. And also, honestly, that Cardiff game typifies Welsh rugby. I thought Cardiff would do us. And there as well. The Exeter Chiefs at the moment, they are certainly fighting with every part that they have got. And anytime Munster think that they've got an attacking opportunity, it just disappears. But Chile trying to get that ball a little bit loose, but they are hanging on to it very nicely here. I see that they've got Samurai written on their socks. Didn't know that was a brand of sock. I normally do end up. What brand have I got? I just got absent ones. There's going to be a penalty here for Munster for a high tackle. Right, what do they do from here now? You've tried to go for the line out about 4 times. Every time it has failed. Where do you go from here? But Ian Whitten, the man who was penalised for that one with the high tackle. A little bit unfortunate. It's Connor Murray. He did end up tucking down a dab, but now they're kicking it for the touchline. That's a brilliant kick. And now they're only going to be 10 metres out here for Munster. Still 25 minutes left here to work for the Munster men. Time has been turned off. All of the Munster supporters looking straight into the sun. That kind of looks like the senior, or not the senior, but like, you know how they have like travelling groups? They all had like the matching Munster jackets and everything. Now Ben Moon, he has come on the field there for the Exeter Chiefs. Is replacing Hepburn. Currently, Ben Moon, can they steal this one once again here? They seem to be in their head, but that is nicely taken here for Munster. It's going to be wrestled down here at the back. They are allowed to keep on going. Now Murray gives it off to Damien de Linde in the middle of the field. Now Murray, they are getting closer and closer here for the Exeter Chiefs to be able to possibly try and steal this one back, but they are unable to for that one. Now breaking forward, it's an advantage to Munster. This is their opportunity. Murray goes across now into the hands of Jack O'Sullivan. Another advantage. And now Murray goes across into the hands of big Chris Harris. He gets kicked in the face about 3 times. It's going back for the penalty. Right, this is an easy 3 if they do want it. Or you've got to possibly go for something else. Maybe a scrum. We haven't really seen too many of those. I think Connor Murray, sorry. So you want the quick tap? What are they deciding? They're taking on the shot. They want some form of points, and that is probably relatively strategic by the Munster. They're saying, is it something to do with the 2-legger, or is it just what they've decided is the best option here? And let's go Munster, says Katie Dixon. Now a couple more subs being made. I believe it is Ewers going off. And for him, it will be Richard Capstick. And then also Yanez Kirsten be making his way out onto the field. And that is for Vermeulen. Taking on the 3 points here for it is Healy. He's going to have to make sure that this kick does go over, though. Yep, he's got that one. And now the score is going to be 10 points to 3 in favour of the Exeter Chiefs. So that is their first form of points on the board for Munster throughout this fixture. To take them 57 minutes, but still 27 or 23 minutes left, sorry, there. Well, plenty of time. And also Red Army. There's looks like they had but where's Wally in that one? Currently taken nicely by, it was Keith Dills, or in fact it was Healy. So down, and currently just going to try and make sure that they don't end up giving away a penalty, because if they give away that penalty straight away, Munster, they lose those points that they just pretty much gained. Kicked up high from Connor Murray. This one could be contested in the end. Nope, it was blocked. Oh, almost fallen over the breakdown there. Oh, Munster, nice little pop-up pass. The hands of it is once again the man also we have got there, but more importantly, there that's going to be a good run for from Hepburn. Oh, sorry, Woodburn, I should say. I've had a lot of mess-ups with names, which could be because of it being our 16th hour of streams, but also could be with the fact that I keep on muddling them up for different people. Good tackle made once again, now 22 metres out. It's going to be passed across. Joe Simmons does take that ball there. Trying to sneak around the side. It is going to be Johnny Gray. He's had a relatively quiet game without this one. Now they just need to keep on defending here for Munster up until the point of, does Damien Delaney? No, not quite able to get that one. Now Maunda goes back across once again. Joe Simmons waiting for that overlap. Does end up getting nailed in the tackle. Straight in there. Oh, the referee was close to blowing his whistle there, I think. Great tackle. Well, straight on the ball. Brilliant body position from Munster. And Bamiami, Sebastian there for that one. And now Munster, once again, have been able to work just a little bit harder and get themselves slightly more chance in this one. I'm going to look at the odds again. So Munster currently to win this game are $17 underdogs. Wait, why 17? They just won a penalty. I would have thought that that would have them a little bit higher up because of the fact that they are getting just a tad closer with 21 minutes left as well. Unless this one doesn't find touch is the only thing that I can think of why it would be 17 rather than a little bit lower for Munster, as that's almost the highest that they've been throughout the match. But I think it's also because of how late in the game we are currently sitting. It is Wycherley making his way out onto the field, and also the Munster in the chat from Katie. But currently Racing 92, their game up against Stade Francais is still sitting at 12 points to 6. I don't know whether or not there has actually been any tries in that game yet. Or whether it is just completely penalties. Currently 21 minutes left in this game. And it looks like both sides have made a majority of their subs at this point in time. That's now Maunder going off the field, and that will be for Jack Maunder. But disappointed that he doesn't get to spend any more time out on the field, but a couple late changes could end up just spending a little bit more time trying to find that reshuffle. Does work out for them. Currently now, it's just a little bit of an injury stoppage that we have got for us, but Munster and Exeter are playing next week, and we will hopefully be covering their game on the channel, although I do know that it is Vancouver Sevens next week, which does mean that it is going to be a random hour of the night that those Sevens live streams are taking place. They're actually going to be checking something here. Oh, okay. Well, this could be a little bit of trouble on the ground. Aussies, they have remodeled themselves on an old British Celtic tribe in the area. Hence my confusion, Irish, Gaelic, or British Celts. And there's Aussies flesh in. I'll be honest, I have no idea what that means. I think my brain is past the point of being able to comprehend like fancy stuff, or not even fancy stuff, just like thinking stuff. But currently, I think they're going upstairs for this one. And this could be a little bit of trouble for one of the Munster boys, which means that Munster, or sorry, not for Munster, for Exeter, as Scannell got his eyeball smashed. There's has remodeled themselves on the old British Celtic tribe in the area, the Damoni. Here's my confusion. I assume that's their logo, maybe. Okay, for me, it's a yellow card, says the referee. So, Rory Scannell might have gotten smashed in the face, but his team's now going to have a man advantage. Ollie Woodburn, he will be going to the bin for the next 10 minutes, and I believe that will change the odds just a little bit here for this game. Okay, so 14's going to the bin. And also they're from the old Cornwall Kingdom. They're not Saxons, nor Britons, nor Celts. They're their own thing. And also the Exeter makeover is 10 out of 10. Okay, Woodburn's off the field for the next 10 minutes. Of course, there's going to be a boo from the Exeter crowd for this game, but currently now Munster, this is their opportunity. The next 10 minutes is where they can really pick it up and really go for it. See if they can make an impact in the later stages. But that is something that I didn't actually realize had happened. The Racing 92 just scored a try. They might have. Also, did you also think it's heartbreaking that our best South African players are playing in overseas clubs? The Lions of 2017 were amazing, and all their best players left them after that year, says Johan. It is unfortunate. I guess it's just trying to find a way of being able to supply them with like a competition that they can not just benefit financially from, but also in terms of skill-wise. And I think the best way to do that is to bring in so many players. Munster, for the love of everything good in the world, please do something with this one-man advantage. Throwing it to the back, taking nice here for Munster. And it's as if that one-man advantage might be what they need to really kick them in the head. Or is that a saying? Not really. Backline movement here. And now Munster going down the wing. Riley still going to be available. Shane Daly with a good run. I don't think the saying is to kick them in the head. Normally that wouldn't be too nice, I wouldn't think. Oh, that was almost jumping over the top. Connor Murray going short side, looking for the pop pass. He does get it up for Haley. Now only 10 metres out, going short side. Risky business, but he somehow stays in the field of play. Now Connor Murray goes back across here for Munster. And it's stolen in the breakdown, but they're going back for the initial penalty there. And it's another yellow card. They've got a two-man advantage now for them. Two-man advantage for Munster. Exeter down to 13. Momentum is a wonderful thing in a game of rugby, and this one is now shifting. We always got there where Broython Celts. Oh my God, Exeter again it is. And now looking at yards, Munster down to $7.70 now. So that just shows how quickly, straight down. Although, man, all they need to do is to finish this one off now. He's disappointed. Currently, Munster, though, I feel like they've got a decent chance. And also, we have got their Munster do the thing, yo. And also, these days, people don't play for clubs because they love the clubs. They only play because of the money. And also, it's all about money. Corrupts people. Once you get a taste of it, it's hard to turn back. There's Sebastian there as well. Right. This is the opportunity for Munster. They need to get this right. They go to the front. There was obstruction in front of the ball. Wow. That's a terrible one to give away. But now, it does mean that Henry Slade will be able to kick this one for the touch, and this will use up a little bit more time. But that was their chance for Munster, and that one just went out the window, unfortunately. Once again, just another one goes a big in for them. They said that there was a little bit of obstruction in the way that they did join that breakdown. And because of it, it does mean that Exeter survive once again now. But they're only playing with 13 men. So their tactic, I would think, would be to keep them deep in their 22. That one's gone into touch. They good clearing kick. Currently 18 minutes left in this fixture. Exeter, they are playing with 13 men out on the field. They've got to try and decide what the plan is. They've got a lock off. Or sorry, not a lock. They've got a prop off. And they have also got the other one. I was like, oh, come on, mate. And now as well, says Sebastian for that one. And also, they think the whole smash my body around until it doesn't work anymore as incentive for them to go for the money. As sad as it may be, that's going to be taken nicely. They have to score now. And yeah, and I got to hear that above. I remember the chairman explaining the differences which when wrong names were in the news, says Eric. That one, that's going to be now a penalty to the Exeter Chiefs for throwing the man across, and Munster getting penalised out of this game currently. And it is not going well for them. Exeter, if they can get themselves a 3-pointer here, this will help them massively. What are they deciding to do? It looks like they might even consider going for a rolling maul themselves. Contest in the air, Jack O'Donoghue. And this is just a tough one for Munster. Every time they think that they're going to be able to get back into this game, it just goes south. And also, and as someone who has spent the last 5 years caring for two people with dementia, your money is needed. More than you know. There's Katie Dixon. That's a brilliant kick downfield. And now Exeter, they've got another opportunity here. Jack O'Donoghue, he'll be nervous at this point in time. If they get a try now, you'd have to say it's close to game over. But with the two-man advantage, you'd have to also argue there's still half a chance for them. But they had to make a change for Munster. It's Klein now back out on the field. And here's a late replacement that they did end up going with. Now trying to get the rolling maul going here for Exeter. And yes, they might be down by a player in their back line and in their forward back. But this rolling maul is still rolling just the way that they would like it to. Going round, going close. It's gone down, or is it? It's over the line. And I think it's going to be close to held up, is it? Yes, it is held up, and it's going to be the goal line dropout now. And also, we have got the why does the South African teams play in the Heineken Cup? Or why doesn't the South African teams play in the Heineken Cup? How does the qualifications work? So pretty much next year they are able to play in it. Yeah, pretty much it is the case of they aren't able to play until they've qualified, which is going to be at the end. It's the top eight sides, and then the top 12 sides of the URC, I think, qualify for certain ones. Currently now kick downfield. All of them. I have a bad feeling here for Munster. Stuart Hogg lines up the drop kick. He's absolutely mammoth. That one straight down the middle. And now they take themselves just a little bit more of a lead. I just thought to brighten my screen and then realized it's Hamish's beard growing. And there's else is Eric. I mean, it's not exactly growing very quick, is it? It's taking its time. And the youngest person ever diagnosed with dementia is a 28-year-old rugby player. And there's else is Katie Dixon. Well, this is a big shot from Stuart Hogg from 40 plus meters out and just gets it straight down the middle, scores it. And he was very happy with that one. Stuart Hogg now Exeter. They have got themselves a 10-point lead going into the later stages of this matchup. Currently, there's a red card for Steph Francais. And also, we've got there. I got to know, come on, Munster. Says Katie Dixon, and currently now they will be looking to just hang on to this one for as long as possible. Just out from their own line. You'd have to wonder, surely Munster with the extra man advantage, they can find a way over the try line at some stage throughout the next little while. And then they also need some form of points alongside that, I should mention. So 2 quick tries in the last 14 minutes, and they would end up winning this game. Quick attack there, and it's going to be Haley who's dragged down nicely. Now Craig Casey recycles it now for Munster backline movement. Damien Dialene brilliantly taken because he had a juggle, and Seb tried to find Alice Gint video about the business. Brutal as well in there, says Eric. Now going out to the short side, it's going to be Jack O'Sullivan still making his way forward. And Munster, even though this game, they have not been going well. Boy, that was close to an interception pass thrown. But now they've got the overlap on the outside here for Munster. And it's going to be close for them going for the line. Cuts on the inside, Munster score. And that is the try that they needed, although there was a double blow of the whistle. What are they checking? That is going to possibly be a TMO decision here. They're going to be checking something to knock on the Chiefs. And there's Katie Dixon, and also we have it's their first year. The 4 conferences winners play the next 4 highest ranked teams qualified for the Champions Cup. And also we have there, but why didn't they also go for the money 10 years ago? Why now? The Bulls in 2019, for example, are good due to the fact that they had a crazy amount of Springboks. I think it's because as the rugby game has grown more money has become available, and kind of more big sponsors have kind of come in. Because I remember actually chatting to Norm Maxwell. He said right at the start, like, you literally, like, you wouldn't be getting paid, and then the semi-pro kind of thing came in. You have to argue that's backwards. So I would say that's backwards because Keith Fields was in front of that. So it's likely that the Stormers will be in the Champions Cup and the Sharks and the Bulls will be in the Challenge Cup in there as well. Can they call that a knock-on? No knock-on. Knock-on by Blue. Okay, they're happy with that. It is going to be the try now for Munster. They are back into this contest. And the table remains as it is now, of course. Now, I do see that Munster at one stage were up to $34. That has now changed big time, but it won't unlock. Because I'm waiting to see what the odds change to. Because currently $87 for Stats Francais to win their game with only 8 minutes left. There's actually only 10 points difference between the two sides, though, which is a kind of hectic one. Okay, now Munster are down to $7.90 to be able to win this game. And also we have got there, 2 teams of South Africa qualify for the Champions Cup. They can, but it's just based off the top 8 initially, I believe it is. And also with Munster, there's Katie Dixon. Currently now 13 minutes left, and they'll still have another couple minutes with no extra man out on the field here for the Exeter Chiefs. Once they go back to 13, or once they go back to, a total of 15. It's going to be when it gets tricky, though. Trying to line up this kick here. Big pressure on this kick for Healy. He's been kicking well throughout the day. Can he get another one? No, he can't. He misses it. And now because of it, they would need to convert a try if they do want to go on and win this game here for the Munster men. And this one is just getting a little bit too close for comfort at the end of this one. Easily could go either way. And if Munster win it from here, you'd have to say it's one of the best comebacks we've seen, only if there will be a South African team in the highest or 4 highest ranked overall teams apart from the conference winners. And there's Sebastian. They are kicked off long, taken nicely, and they are inside of their own 22 currently here for Munster. Craig Casey firing it back across. They've got to keep on running with the backline. They've got the man advantage. Quick hands here from Munster, and now starting to pierce his way up the middle. Still available for them. That looked like, oh no, I thought he was injured for a second, but now he is fine. Get him back up. Still Munster's for the taking. Oh, available. Casey, sorry, I just realized my feet is ahead. Sorry for spoilers. Yeah, no worries at all. Katie It is completely fine. I feel like I'm reading the chat kind of slow as well, so it is all good. Cut on the inside here. It's going to be Jack O'Sullivan. Ball to Craig Casey up to the 22 here. And now continuing to drive Munster. Getting close, and like they're saying, huge holes are opening up now, and that is because of the fact that Munster have got the two-man advantage. Ball almost on the outside. He ran out of space. And also, I'm losing it back in the Champions Cup. It's not easy. You also have the teams from the Premiership in the top 14 in there as well. But now moving just a little bit closer. Craig Casey round the side, 10 minutes out here for Munster. And they just need one more try, and that will give them the lead for the first time in this match. Going down just short of the line. I believe that is close. Just very close indeed. Still available. Wycherley, couple meters out. Still available for them. Scannell drags it down. This is close. At the moment, they are inches from the line here for Munster. And also, it looks what's happening. They're going to take Madosh Tumboy away from the Bulls. Play in France. There we go again. They keep taking away our great players. Who's next? Vincent Chuka and Kurt Lorenza, possibly. If the money is good, that's going to be the advantage there to Munster. Now around the side, O'Donoghue jumps, almost able to get over the line. You have to be careful not to cynically stop this one. Craig Casey sells the dummy. Does he get over? Right, they're going to be checking this one upstairs. This whole game has pretty much been locked out on the betting odds. I'm just waiting to see how much it changes. And it doesn't really seem like it's going to change that much. And also, Sebastian going to ask Scarlett to have a game and hand over the Bulls, I believe. One says Fletcher, but currently now Craig Casey. They're going upstairs. 10 minutes left now. Left. And the game, and also, so Harlequin, Saracens, and Leicester are in the Champions Cup. Not quite. It all depends on, I guess, how they finish in this Gallagher Premiership. Don't think so. I believe out of all the sides, they had initially a round of about 32, and then from there it becomes 16 teams. So I've actually got the screenshots of the table, the way that it sits. So pretty much in the table department for Pool A and Pool B, from the Gallagher Premiership, there was Sale, Exeter, then also Northampton were there, Bath were there, and then Harlequins, Bristol, Cardiff Wasps, and Leicester. So they had 8 teams from the Gallagher Premiership in there. And yes, and they are only 6 points behind Fletcher, and 1 more bonus point. And they're very much in the running for the quarterfinals. And then there's quite a few French sides that are in there as well. And then a few from the top, well, not the top 14 on Hamish. What do they do in New Zealand that most of the players don't really go overseas? I think it's just because they want to play competitive rugby. Overall, like, they don't pay them well enough, I don't think. But it's just because I guess you get, like, Super Rugby, a lot of them just love that competition. So they just stick around for it for a little bit longer. Quick tap taken, dropping the area. Rory Scannell getting close. Here for Munster, still just half an inch away from the line. It's a bit of a counter ruck there from the Exeter Chiefs. Have almost been able to seal that off. It's out the back now. Rory Scannell getting his headgear grabbed. They want to come on Munster. And not saying we can win that game. Still close for them. They've still got the man advantage. Just the one man, though. Now Munster, like they're saying, the Munster Hearts, they are huge at the moment. Casey, ball back. Wide cutout pass. Looking at the corner. Stepping on the inside. No, he's going to be dragged down. Great defense from the Exeter Chiefs trying to go around the sides. It was actually number 14, Keith Earls. Casey still got this one. They're getting closer and closer once again. Only inches from the line. Currently 5 points difference between the two sides. Farrell getting close. I'm nervous for both of the sides here. Getting very close now. Still close. I don't know what to say other than they are very close. They're 10 metres out. Now Casey passes it off. There's an injury and back play for Munster. Scannell, the ball has come free. He is going to be shut down nicely. Sam Simmons trying to get in there to turn the ball over. O'Donoghue, the ref has to literally duck out of the way to try and avoid that breakdown. Now going across, Damien Dialende now. Still available for them. The last thing they want is a penalty advantage. against the Exeter Chiefs. That player was losing his footing there. That's the thing, the New Zealand players, they for the love of their teams and not just for the money, unlike our guys. And that's all. I mean, that's the thing, though. You'd have to argue, is the domestic or the franchise competition as competitive in South Africa as it is in New Zealand, though, type thing. I was at top 8 of the Premiership, go to the Champions Cup, and the teams placed from 9th to 12th, the Challenge Cup. Currently still available, Munster. They just haven't been able to break through. Or Damien de Allende getting himself in a bit of trouble there. That's going to become a maul, is it? Is that considered as a maul? Yes, it is. And it's a scrum feed for the Exeter Chiefs. Massive moment. Currently, there's still 8 minutes left. A great commentary on the action, says Eric. I can't believe how long is left in this game currently, with the fact that that felt like an eternity and it was only like 3 minutes. Damien de Allende just ended up getting tackled a bit too high and the ball got stuck, and it was actually the replacement, Jack Maunder, who got on there. And there's Katie Dixon, but currently only the 5 points difference between these two sides. Exeter, they're going to be inside of their 22, and I believe they will be kicking it downfield after they win the scrum. If they win the scrum, or more than likely they will be trying to get themselves in the position of being able to win the penalty at scrum time would be the better option for them. But currently Munster, this is nerve-wracking stuff for a Monday or Sunday morning. I don't even know what day it is. I think it's Sunday. We've been live streaming for 16 hours as well. I do think people have to consider this as a job for some people. And as I says, Katie Dixon, yeah, some players play it for the rugby, some players play it for the fame, some people play it for the love of the sport, some people play it for the money, some people play it so that they can get themselves some merchandise to be able to sell afterwards and start up a clothing brand. And also at the top, we'll have the home final in the URC, so that stands at the moment. And there, so it is the top 4 have the home final for the quarterfinals. And there, and also there they aren't here for loyalty or sentimentality. I can't say that at this time. They're here to make the money, and that's valid, and they shouldn't be called bad guys for that. Sentimentally. There we go. Sentimentally. That one didn't roll off the tongue, did it? Another scrum reset. Right. 6 minutes left. They're inside of their own 22 here, Exeter, and they will have to kick this one downfield. More than likely, try and create a little bit more space. But this game's too close. Like, if Munster score a last-minute try, there could be a draw on the cards. And also, would Munster get a bonus point as it stands? No bonus points for this. It is the round of 16, which does mean pretty much in that situation, it's a big push from Munster. And it's a bit of a counter scrum from them as well. It's bouncing out the back, and Henry Slade does kick it downfield now. But pretty much it is the round of 16, so both sides play off. Do they take it quickly? They consider it. They deny it. And I say, yeah, I know, but it hurts a lot of our South African fans. And as I says, Johan for that one. It's a brilliant kick from Henry Slade. It's actually down into the half of a Munster. And top 4 have home quarterfinals, 5-6 will have to overcome the home ground advantage. Yeah, and now Rory Scannell, he's been out there for the whole game, 40 metres out from their own line, and Exeter just having a little bit, well, actually, Exeter ready, Munster having the huddle here, trying to work out what's going on. Currently now, it's going to be a big opportunity here. Rory Scannell, they go to the front, taken nicely. Craig Casey now passes it across. Damien de Allende last time carried it a bit too high. He's learnt from his mistakes and carrying that one a lot lower. Basically, see all an island as well. Now backline movement. Nice pop pass. Oh, it's been dropped. And that is going to be a big mistake for Rory Scannell. And also we've got there 7:18 here in the UK. And on a cold, sunny evening, enjoy his fleshing. And also we've got there this maybe, that may be true. And that's very sad. Maybe it will change one day and it'll become more about the spirit of the game, of evolution one day at a time as well. See, it's Katie Dixon there. But currently 4 minutes left. Exeter Chiefs, they're in a good position on the field. If they win themselves a breakdown penalty, they have done it. Because you would think they would take on the 3, and that would give them an 8-point lead going into their next league up against Munster. This time, though, Munster will be at home. That is next week. We will also be back covering that one on the channel. If the time does allow, I think the Stormers have a home quarterfinal. That's my prediction. As well, says Johan. And also, we've got that. Is this the last stream, Hamish? It is for tonight. But then after that, we are going to be waking up tomorrow. We're going to be doing the quarterfinals of the sevens and also a few of the other matches of the sevens that are coming up. And then also alongside that, Montpellier versus the Harlequins. And the other one, Leicester versus Clermont. Big push there. Tell you what, it's the penalty advantage there for the Exeter Chiefs, and it almost thought it was going to go the way of Munster for half a second. Good attack and run, backline movement. This will be the try in the corner, or will it? It's a brilliant tackle. Oh, he's dropped the ball over the line for the Exeter Chiefs. And I think the Storms will end up in the top four. He's put the ball down over the line. It's going to be a knock on, and I believe that's a 5-meter scrum now because they went too far. So they can't actually get the advantage, but they can't go back for the advantage. So they made like 40 meters. And then he lost control, and then I lost control. And there's this Katie Dixon. Yeah, that was brilliant defense from Keith Earls getting across there, and just everyone just flailing hands. And somehow able to get it out of the hands. Old Woodburn, he was over, and then from there just ended up putting the ball down on the back of, it was actually, brilliantly done by Chris Harris. Last ditch effort. It's actually Chris Farrell. And tremendous, says Eric Davison. Go Exeter. Says Johan, currently 3 minutes left. It will be a 5-meter scrum. No, it won't. They did go back for the advantage. Okay, Exeter have decided to go for the line out. That is a big, bold call here because they don't just want to concentrate on this game. They're thinking to their next one. They know that it's going to be tough to beat Munster in Ireland. So they decided that they might as well give it a crack. Well, that was a hard landing for one of the players earlier on in the game, and that was actually the red card and the Racing 92 Paris Saint-Germain game. That's not Paris Saint-Germain. It is Steph Francaise, who's been the leader among Exeter. I would say that Stuart Hogg stepped up in this contest. They've actually been able to steal that one now, and they're kicking it back into the pocket here. Good kick downfield. And now they did have to just exit their own 22. It'd be nice to have a quarterfinal in South Africa just for the sustainability of the format, and also say amen somebody. There's Katie Jackson, but currently now only a couple minutes left, 78 minutes gone in this game. The crowd are fired up. They are yelling out to Munster, I should say. They want them to climb the mountain that is this Exeter Chiefs challenge. Connor Murray, he's looking angry, very grumpy. Indeed, but that is because he knows that this is very close. This current point of time, they go up for it uncontested. It's going to be risky for Munster because this is going to be a good rolling ball starting to form here for the Exeter Chiefs. And also looks like our South African teams play bad up north. That's another advantage. And this could be the game changer for them. 90 seconds left. They're just trying to get it as quickly as they can here for Munster to have another chance of being able to attack. Held up. It's going to be now going back for the initial penalty. Right. Like they're saying, this might be a moment that you bank the 3. It gets you 8 points in the lead and Chiefs about to win. And there's Sammy Sosa, they certainly are. And also, Katie, the next game, there's always that. And also, you're done superbly, Hamish, an absolute machine. Well done, buddy. Says David the Mod. And yeah, do appreciate you, mate. It's been 16 hours since our first live stream. We've had a couple 20-minute breaks in between. Also, trust me, Johan, playing Leinster and Dublin and Ulster and Belfast is a nightmare for any club in the world. Oh, that one. So, but currently now they've kicked it for the corner. I'm going to sit up once again because there's only another 30 seconds left here. Throwing it in, taken nicely for the Exeter Chiefs. They want another try and they aren't giving up on that concept of getting another one. And Asia, the best 10 out of 10. Says it was Katie Dixon breaking off the back. This is a good opportunity. Sam Simmons goes down just short of the line. Now around the side. If Munster get themselves the penalty, then they still have half a chance of being able to win this game. But if not, they will be going into their next game. Craig Casey muscling up there, trying to fight hard, trying to stop the big props from making their way over the line. And our man has smashed it today, says Sebastian. Yeah, the voice actually is all right, which is surprising. That's close to the line. Once again, still going to be available for the Exeter Chiefs. Wycherley over. It's going to be held up. And because of that, if it's held up, it's going to be the end of the game. And that. Okay, they're checking this one. I was actually the night shift master. says Eric. And also we can imagine Leinster vs Crusaders and Christchurch, New Zealand. It's always going to be, it's held up. That's the end of the game. Handshakes about. That's what they did. And that is going to be a 5-point difference. The Exeter Chiefs do win it. Sam Simmons, he's fired up at the moment, but I think he's also disappointed that they weren't able to get over. Well, it's Exeter has a GG, although only the 5-point margin, and that will be a big one going into the next stage, and the Chiefs take it. And also, it's always going to be played good. And yeah, home backyard in the URC, South Africa versus the North. One says Flesham, but this was a close game right to the wire. I'm going to have to drink water now. And also here, Exeter says Johan, so yeah, we did do our live streams today, ladies and gentlemen. Back tomorrow. And everything's still on the line very much. Yep, next week's going to be an awesome one. Okay, they've given Dave Ewers the man of the match for this game for the Exeter Chiefs. But nonetheless, I guess I don't know what to do with myself now. We've finished all our live streams. So I guess we go to bed / also we are going to be doing another rugby gauntlet tomorrow, which is going to be involving the quarterfinals, the 5th to... Oh, okay, some random guy was joining in with the team. He was doing the handshakes. He was meeting all of the players. And then they were taken off the field. So he was shaking hands with everyone. And also Exeter usually score high second half. Munster did well to hold. And I think he's for the rugby gauntlet. Hamish says, Katie Dixon, no worries at all. And we have still got another one. And also we have got the Big Love Man. It's been on spending the whole day in your presence. It's gone fast, hasn't it? I feel like my brain is still going to be in rugby mode for the next 2 hours. I'm just going to be sitting here going, 7s tomorrow. That's good. So I'll probably make all the things that I need to do for tomorrow's live streams, or today's live streams, I guess, since it is 6:30 a.m. Do all of those ones, get them out of the way, head to bed, fall asleep, wake up, rugby, 7s, and then rugby union for a couple of matches as well after that. But nonetheless, do appreciate you all being here. I hope you did enjoy our equivalent of the rugby gauntlet. Probably our record for the most live streams that also we've got our rugby live shipmates. And there's an European Challenge Cup, says Fleshan. Is there another game on? Is there? One moment, we'll have a look. Although, unfortunately, they don't actually show Challenge Cup games here in New Zealand, and I have no idea why they don't want to. I quite enjoy them because they've actually got a game at 7, don't they? If I'm not wrong. Yeah, in 30 minutes' time, it is going to be the Dragons versus Gloucester, and also Newcastle Zebre, Biarritz Toulon, and none of those games are actually shown in New Zealand, sadly. There are some shirts off at the moment in the crowd. Wally's, or where's Waldo, wherever you're from. And I am you're rugby drunk at the moment, and also Dragons versus Gloucester. I mean, if they had somewhere to watch it here, I would be keen. But sadly, yeah, we don't actually get any of the Challenge Cup games, which kind of sucks. Hopefully we at least get the finals or the quarterfinals matchups or something along those lines from then on out so that we can actually see some of those matches. And also rest time after that all-nighter streaming. And there's, it says Sammy Souza, yeah, had to try and calm myself down. Definitely after that game. I think if Munster had scored in the last moment, I wouldn't have been able to sleep for the next 5 hours. But nonetheless, I guess that is going to be the end of this video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. So we are going to be back tomorrow with plenty more rugby and also the Rugby Sevens quarterfinals. But thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all